Braden writes in, says, how do you feel about Drew Lock's performance the last 3 weeks of the year? Yeah, he went 0-3, but I think given all of these circumstances, offensive line issues, drops, Pat Shurmur, that he played well enough to at least deserve a chance to compete for the starting job or a starting job. Whether or not that's in Denver is a different story, but maybe he'd be a trade piece. What do you think? I don't know how to. I don't think he's a guy who's going to be in the running for a starting quarterback job. I don't know. Like, maybe Pittsburgh could trade for him. That'd be interesting. I think he fits well in Pittsburgh. He's got a big arm. They need a quarterback for sure. I want to ask a question, though. So maybe he would be like you trade him for like a 4th or 5th round pick. Like, I could see that. There's something there. He's not awful, but really what I want to know, something happened behind the scenes with Vic Fangio, the former Broncos head coach, and Drew Lock. We don't know what it is, but why did Vic Fangio seem to just hate Drew Lock? It seems like he detested him. And what was happening off the field? Because Coach Vic Fangio did not seem to respect Drew Lock at all. Like, he could not get – nothing Drew Lock did was ever good enough. He hated the guy, didn't like working with him. Fangio seemed unhappy with him. Kind of like – and maybe Vic Fangio was just unhappy, period, and that's possible. Like, Fangio at the end – I remember watching that Ravens game when Vic Fangio – the Ravens ran for 4 yards to end the game instead of kneeling. And Vic Fangio was livid. He was so mad. And I'm like, dude, why are you choosing to be angry about that? And Vic Fangio, I think when someone's choosing to be angry about nonsense like that, and given some of the quotes he gave, he sounded insecure and frustrated, and he wanted to kind of save face a little bit, like he was embarrassed about losing and wanted to succeed. I think it's very possible that Vic Fangio was kind of depressed and bitter about losing and bitter about the situation he was in, that he couldn't get a starting quarterback. And I think he took a lot of his frustration out on – I think the story he told himself is that it's Drew Lock's fault for not being better. If Drew Lock had been a good quarterback, we would have won more, and I might have kept my job, and we could have won. He said multiple times, we lost and we're last in our division because we don't have a good quarterback. So, the story you tell yourself is one that makes you the hero and makes you comfortable. And by the way, I stumbled onto something amazing. That's something I say all the time. When you're interacting with someone and they're mad at you or this or that, or maybe their version of events don't line up with reality, you got to remember, nobody likes to admit that they're wrong or made a mistake or maybe are stupid. And so as human beings, we like to tell ourselves stories that make us the hero or the victim and make us feel good about ourselves. And maybe the story that Vic Fangio told himself was that I'm getting fired. I'm in this position. I'm losing games because Drew Lock wasn't good enough. And I think that's some good stuff right there. That's very insightful and stuff that can help you the rest of your life, because when you're interacting with people and you don't like how they're treating you or whatever, just remember, not everyone's awful. A lot of people are just scared or insecure or trying to care for their own heart, and they'd rather make you the bad guy than admit they were wrong. I feel like a little bit of that was playing out with Vic Fangio and Drew Lock in Denver.